Good morning, everybody. It is August 14th now, Saturday. We got past Friday the 13th. I'm not superstitious at all, but it was a kick, and then it was fun to grab a last video yesterday of the boys howling and make it 666. So it was video number 666 on Friday the 13th with the hounds of the Baskervilles, and they're baying away. Silly moments. It was funny. Last night I was watching the Kaminsky report, Kaminsky method, and it was so funny. This one scene goes by where Michael Douglas is talking to one of the students from his class, his acting class, and she's getting out of a van with a guy, and he questions, and he finds out they're living in the van, and he goes, "Well, can't you get a little apartment or something?" She goes, "Really can't afford it." And he points to the boyfriend who's just got another van and goes, "What about him?" And she goes, "Well, he doesn't work. He's a bass player." So I rewound it and just shot that little scene and put it up on my Facebook page. I just thought it was perfect. Usually they say they're a drummer, but this time it was a bass player who's unemployed. So I thought that was good. I got too much reflection here. These glasses, it's always hard sitting here at this time of day. I get all kinds of funky reflections. But it was. I just got a kick out of it. It's such a well-written show, and I've always been just an enormous fan of Alan Arkin, and he's just so great to just watch him do what he does so well. The whole cast is really great. It's a fun show. So let's see, what was I was looking around at music again for today. I've got a cameo to do right after this, and I just filled a bunch more book orders and t-shirts, but I'll mail those on Monday. Then I've got to make arrangements to go back to New York for a couple of days for a big gala function that's going to be taking place back in New York to celebrating and honoring 9/11. So I'm sorting all that out. I've got to do all that this afternoon, and just wrote out charts for tomorrow because I'm doing Judith Owen's show, For Fuck's Sake, tomorrow. And I've done that a bunch of times with her, and it's such a hoot to see that show. She's just such a character. So I think we're going to do about 3 songs in it. So I just sketched them out because I haven't played them in a while and don't want to choke. So I've got that done. And then I've got, oh God, what I've got here. Some more songs people have sent me to put bass parts on. So I'm going to get to work on that this afternoon too. So a busy Saturday. And then I'm going to a birthday party tonight. It was originally supposed to be 150 people attending this really wonderful birthday party, and they were going to cancel it because of COVID, but they ended up just stripping it down. I think there's going to be 30 people at it, and we made the cut. So I'm going to be off and heading off to that. So I've got a really kind of full, busy day ahead. But when I was thinking about music, I thought I needed something really just kind of really pleasing and nice to go into the weekend with. And I thought, what better than Olivia Newton-John? Now, we did an album. I've done a few things with Olivia over the years, but this was from 1977, and it's called Making a Good Thing Better. Now, when we made this album, she was in a kind of a contentious negotiation situation with MCA Records. And when we finished the album, MCA basically did nothing to promote it. She tried doing things herself, but the record company just didn't give a crap at that point. They weren't sure if they were still going to be with her, whatever was going on. So this wasn't nearly as successful as the previous albums up to this, regardless of the quality. It was just the label had no interest in doing any assistance to move the product along. And then right after this is when she signed on to do Grease. So when she was doing that, when she came off of that, then they had finished renegotiating the the deal, and she stayed on MCA. But during the course of this record, it was all caught up in legal nonsense, whatever. That's a big chunk of the music business. Making the music's easy. Doing the business can be the hard part of it all. So this album was produced by John Farrar, who also played guitar on it, and Armin Steiner and Bill Schnee and Elliot Scheiner. There was a lot of people involved in making this record, and they were the engineering side of it all. And it was recorded at a number of different studios. Strings were at one studio, and the rhythm section, as I recall, we did the rhythm section dates at Sound Labs, which was Armin Steiner's studio, which we did a lot of records in Sound Labs. And that was when we did the We Are the Champions with the Dodgers after they won the World Series in '81. We cut that at Sound Labs. But that was really one of the go-to studios for a long time in town. And it was somewhat catty-corner to the back of Capitol Records. And, was it Yucca and Argyle or something like that? I forget the intersection there. But it was a great room, really a great room. So there's a whole bunch of people on this. So I got back to my copious notes folder here. And it's quite a lineup of people. It was myself on bass, Jeff Porcaro on drums, Joe Porcaro on percussion, John Farrar and Jay Graydon on guitar, Greg Matheson on keyboards, James Newton Howard doing string synth and all that, Sneaky Pete Kleinow, the great steel player, playing pedal steel, and also Doug Livingston playing steel on it, the great Tommy Morgan playing harmonica. Now, I did lots of stuff with Tommy, but if you were ever watching old Rockford Files, that's Tommy doing it. Anytime there was harmonica on any Mike Post show, it was Tommy Morgan playing on that. The great Byron Berline is on this album, who just passed away recently. Randy Edelman was playing, I think, organ on this. And the thing that was cool on this is one of the songs that I'm going to show you, play you from Olivia's album, was written by Randy. And I remember doing Randy's solo record. And Randy's married to Jackie DeShannon, the great Jackie DeShannon. And when I go back to New York to do this 9/11 extravaganza, I'm doing a thing with Randy Edelman there. So our relationships are so long-term, and we're like this, and then things disappear, and then boom, they come back together at some point, and then go away and come back. It's fascinating on that level. And the background singers on this were Mima Matthews, Marty McCall, and Patty Brook. So I'm going to go ahead and play a few songs from this. It's a really good album. And I was always enjoyed Olivia's, her singing, her presence, her vibe, her energy. She's just really great. And so it was really a treat to be in the studio with her and this incredible team of maniacs. So I think the first song I'll play is I Think I'll Say Goodbye, is the title of it, written by Jim Rushing and Marshall Chapman. And this is like the most country flavored of the project. So here we go. This is I Think I'll Say Goodbye. Not literally, it's a song, okay?
Let them pass us by. So I'll be closing the door in the morning, and I won't wake you when I rise, 'cause there's nothing to say before going. sunshine used to be. One more wrong tomorrow is one more wasted day. Holding on to love that's gone, we'll never find our way. So I'll be closing the door in the morning, and I won't wake you when I rise, 'cause there's nothing to say before going. You think that I said it all, so I think I'll say goodbye. You think that I said it all, so I think I'll say
Okay, I always enjoyed when I'd go down to Nashville. I did like literally a couple of hundred country records at least, and just loved the community of players and the artists. It was always great. So it was always fun when somebody would throw in a country flavored tune there for us to play on. Okay, there. Okay, this is a song called "If Love Is Real," and this is the Randy Edelman song that we did on the album. So here we go. This is a whole other flavor. So, "If Love Is Real."
is real. Why can't you take love and lock love away in some safe place where you won't lose love and keep love each day untouched just words, but without much to say. 'Cause if love's real, you have to trust and let love go its way.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just, while I was listening, I always love working with singers like her, like Anne Murray, and just those kind of voices are just really heartfelt. I love it. I was just also thinking about sitting in that studio, and then suddenly came back to me, that's the same room where I did the theme to the movie Mahogany with Diana Ross. I was at Sound Labs in that room. So here's another one. They're just really great songs. I just really love listening to this. This is called So Easy to Begin, and this was written by Jules Shear. So I always try to find out who the writers are, and these, give them some credit for these. So here we go. So Easy to Begin. All of this is with Frankenstein. That was always my go-to bass on these sessions.
Well, I've been so far away from you,
Always close to my heart.
I was standing by your side, and there were nights we were so in love, and loving made me blind. But that time is so far below us now, the memory so thin, it's so easy to begin, but it's so hard to stop this love. It's just so hard to stop when a heart that's looking for love and needs you in. It's so easy to begin. And I've at least saved some lessons from the time I fell apart. And I know you've been wondering why I look at you so hard. But I never want to wake up someday and wonder where we've been. It's so easy to begin, but it's so hard to stop this love. It's
would do these dates, as far as music goes, we would have probably been given basically like a chord layout of the song, and maybe a couple of key punches that pushes that they wanted us to grab, but at least 50% of it was always left to us to create parts, and that was always the fun part of being in the studio with people like Jay Graydon and Greg Matheson and stuff. We would start playing, and we would just find parts and work with each other on them and develop them. And because so many times the songs were pretty skeletal from what we were handed, and then it was our gig to come up with things that made the song interesting. And that is the juice that kept everything flowing, was the excitement of creativity on that level. So it wasn't like the charts were note for note written out or anything like that. There was a lot of room for us to be a part of them. So let me grab maybe one more. We're running. Let's see how this one. Oh, this was really beautiful rendition of Slow Dancing by Jack Tempchin. He's a great writer. And so here's Slow Dancing. Let me get right to the top.
It's late at night and we're all alone, with just the music of the radio. No one's coming, no one's gonna telephone. Just me and him and the lights down low. And we're slow dancing, swaying to the music. Slow dancing, just me and my guy. Slow dancing, swaying to the music. No one else in the whole wide world. In the whole wide world.
Yes, voice like butter, like in the Karen Carpenter world.
And we just float together when the lights are low. The shadows dancing across the wall. Music's playing so soft and low. And the rest of the world so far away and small. Slow dancing, swaying to the music. Slow dancing, just me and my guy. Slow dancing, swaying to the music. No one else in the whole wide world. In the whole wide world. Hold me, please hold me. Don't ever let me go. And as we dance together in the dark, with so much love in this heart of mine, he whispers to me and I hold him tight. He's the one I thought I'd never find. Slow dancing, swaying to the music. Slow dancing,
also the beauty of a project like this is Olivia was in the studio with us the whole time. It's like a lot of times singers don't even show up for the basic tracking. They either send somebody in maybe just to do some ghost vocals so the band knows what's going on, or whatever. But she was there, singing every pass. I love singers like that are just, it's their project and they do it. When we're in the studio working with Barbara Streisand, she's at the mic for every take. Just their involvement is 100%, which is pretty amazing. The string arrangements on this were James Newton Howard or David Campbell. Now, I've talked in the past, David Campbell was on Jackson Browne's first record playing viola on that, and he's gone on to be one of the major record string arrangers in town. And James Newton Howard, who I did movies like Space Jam with and stuff, has really gone on to be like one of the major film composers in town. So everybody's careers are still just plowing along. So I'm going to get going now. I have lots of stuff to take care of. I'm going to go do my cameo right now while I'm in the mood for sitting in front of a camera and send that off. And then I'm going to go take care of other stuff. And that's that. And I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Just stop gives thoughts to these people that are just struggling every day, especially in the medical field, trying to save lives. I can't imagine, what they're going through. I mean, I sit here and I make my videos. I go do a little yard work, play with the dogs, record a couple of bass parts, and boom, Bob's your uncle, as the old saying goes. These people are just putting in mega shifts, trying to save people's lives. And at the rate people are ignoring the benefits of doing the right thing for the community and getting vaccinated, it's just such a downward spiral. We're back in here, and it's heartbreaking to see lives being lost that don't have to be, and these people knowing that they shouldn't have to be sitting there holding the hand of somebody breathing their last breath. So if you take a moment and just think a big thank you to these people who are really putting out every day now. And it's like it was one thing when you thought it was going to be 2 months or 6 months, things. But, we're heading towards really the reality is probably closer to 2 years at this point, because this really was around, I think, probably in November of the previous year, because I knew people that were ill during that period, but it hadn't been identified yet, and they didn't quite know what they had, so they said, "Oh, you have some kind of a flu," but I'd lay odds that it was already here at that point. So stay safe, mask up. It's not a big deal. Just put a mask on when you go out. If you think it's BS, just go ahead and think it, but it'll make the person next to you feel a whole lot more comfortable. And I'll be back tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, because I'm going over to Judith's tomorrow to do her show. So maybe we'll film some of that, and I'll put that up for tomorrow's video. I'll see if I can do that and work that out, because it's really a lot of fun doing this thing with her. She's such a character, but so gifted. These songs that we're doing are so good. She's just a remarkable artist. So take good care. Happy Saturday. See you tomorrow. And like that. Okay. Bye-bye.